Welcome to this introduction of our major essay 2. This essay will be different in quite a few ways from our first essay. One of them is that it will be longer, a minimum of 4 full pages. Up to 5 is totally fine. We're also going to be developing all of our MLA formatting skills for quotes and works cited. We'll be discovering how to best use sources to support our ideas. We'll be using at least a minimum of 4 quotes. You're welcome to use more. And I wanted to put a quick reminder to please not load your paper as a PDF because it makes it much harder for me to give comments on. One of the, ideas that we'll be working with Major Essay 2 is what an academic argument looks like. So it doesn't look like Thanksgiving dinner at my house, right? With Uncle John yelling at my Aunt Beth, and each of them trying to prove who's 100% right and who's 100% wrong. So it's not that kind of smackdown argument. It's much more about trying to figure out how to convey an idea in a way that our audience, in this case, teachers or students, can appreciate that it's thoughtful. It has the support of experts behind it. It seems like a reasonable, interesting idea. That's really all we have to do in an academic argument, and it's harder than it sounds. So we're not having to convince somebody that our side is 100% right. That's actually what we're trying to move away from in an academic argument. The assignment itself, the topic, is on the costs of college and how to help people both access college and pay for it, given that having a college degree means that people have a much more stable life economically. So using the given readings in addition to your own experiences and observations, write an essay that argues your opinion on the question, should college tuition be free? We have kind of a two-pronged focus for this essay. One of them is academic argument, and the other part of that is source use, which actually, they go together because good source use is what you use to support a good academic argument. So we'll be building on the structure which we practiced with Major Essay 1, refining it, talking about tone, because the tone of using sources is different than just the tone, the more casual tone that we had when we're using our personal description in Major Essay 1, and really figuring out how to use sources and their ideas to support our claim. Some of the skills we'll be developing are reading and summarizing college level sources, using that source material to support our idea, then making sure that we're integrating that source material into our own ideas in the paragraphs, MLA quote formatting, MLA works cited formatting. This Major Essay 2 really will give us all the building blocks that you'll need for most of your academic papers while you're in college. And the fundamentals of structuring an argument are something that you can use in all of your debates in your life, in my humble opinion. We'll be reading summaries. I'm sorry, we will be creating reading summaries. So there will be 3 summaries in this unit to help you develop important skills in reading, summarizing, using quotes, integrating source material into your paragraphs. For each summary, you'll be given a list of sources to choose from. You'll read them and then share ideas in discussion board and create a brief summary of the key ideas of that source, as well as practicing pulling quotes from that source. We'll only be using approved sources for this paper, and that's because English 101 is not a research writing class. We don't have time to cover research methods in this class. That's something you're going to do in English 102. What we're mainly concerned with in this class is the skill of using source material to support your claim, and we're not interested in your research skills. Given that, if you have questions about an additional source you'd like to use for this paper, you can do that in some cases, right? But you need to get approval from your instructor at least 5 days before the essays due in order to make sure that it follows the rules for sorting a good quality source, which we'll cover to introduce those ideas if you haven't seen them before. But again, research is not something that's required in this class. I want to leave you with the idea of a writer's mindset. First piece of advice is to start fresh. In the beginning, ignore your initial opinion on this topic. Getting stuck in your first opinion is one of the biggest mistakes you can make when you're trying to put together any kind of debate. You need to be open, right? So approach the readings with curiosity and try to understand the points of all sides. There'll be more than two, I promise, especially if you initially disagree. When you find an idea that makes you kind of go, cross your arms and be like, no, 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 no. That's where you probably really need to dig in and make sure that you understand. Because it's in understanding the points of the other side that you're really going to dig deep into the underlying ideas in the debate, and it's going to help you create a more balanced discussion and a more convincing argument. Seems counterintuitive, but it's true. The third thing, let the experts do the hard work. I can't emphasize this enough. Our job in English 101 is not to come to this very, very longly contested debate and try to create a brand new solution. If you do, that's great, but that's not the purpose of this class. That's the purpose of these people who are going to be reading, who have spent their whole lives debating these kinds of public policy issues. And our job is to keep track of interesting ideas that we find in the readings while we explore the ideas of these experts, and then let those experts give us the ideas for our paper. Right? So let them do the hard work. If at any point you become stuck, read. Read the assignment sheet again, but especially read the source material and reread it to gather more ideas. Even if you feel like you've completely picked a source clean, at least for me, when I go back, I can find something new and something else, another sub idea to help me develop my argument. So start fresh, be open, let the experts do the hard work. And if you get stuck, keep reading. Oh, the other thing I should have put on here is that if you're stuck, please reach out, contact the tutors, drop by office hours, contact your instructor. We are here to help and looking forward to seeing what we can put together for Major Essay 2.